Hello and welcome to another episode of Soul and Screen. In this particular video, I will be doing a prediction of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 9, Episode 11, as we go into the mid-season finale. Now, for those of you who have listened to some of my previous videos, you know that I've already kind of speculated what I think is going to happen in regards to certain storylines, but that was prior to seeing the video clips or the the promotion video for next week's episode, or this week's episode, sorry. So with that being said, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to start with the surprise, and then somebody showing up at Andy's place. The look on her face, like the shock, is like, what are you doing here? Now, it's being speculated by most is that it's going to be Gary. And before I get into that, let me say, how is it that the people downstairs in the front desk have to announce certain people and not other people to her, and have literally had to call and tell her that her friends who supposedly have a key to her place are coming up and things like that, but Gary, out of all people, does not have to be announced. I mean, this man is the definition of you need a restraining order, right? Like, let's keep it real. This man has verbally assaulted her, physically assaulted her, threatened her and blackmailed her. Like, I mean, what more? Andy, the lead, I'm an attorney. I'm the one who have a law degree and have passed the bar and all that kind of stuff. What you waiting for? I mean, real talk, you doing the most over here. So if Gary is able to walk into her house, her penthouse, her $3 million penthouse, then she needs to figure out if it's time for her to move, because obviously the security in that place is off. So anyway, going on, I don't know if it's going to be Gary. It sounds like it might be, because I don't see that she would be surprised that it will be anybody else. I don't think that they would bring Robin back. I just don't see the purpose of Robin outside of maybe him coming to talk to her about, this whole lawsuit with Dr. Cruz. But I don't know that I don't think that she would be as shocked if, the way that they gave the preview is like she was really shocked. She hasn't heard from Gary. She hasn't seen Gary since, the night that everything went down with him, Jasmine and I forgot, Hudson. There you go. So I think it may be Gary, but I'm kind of over the Gary and Andy situation, and I also am a little bit over some of the storyline with the Gary thing, because in all honesty, I feel like they're feeding into a little bit of some of the stereotypes that go on with certain men from Africa. And I don't mean this disrespectfully or anything. I'm talking about from what I've heard about the stereotype, a little bit of experience in regards to my, again, experience that has happened in dating and things like that, but also stories that I've heard from other people, friends and things like that. So what I'm saying is there is a stereotype that men from Africa are really possessive, and they just don't know how to stop. Like, they just go 20 on, between 1 and 10, now on 20. They just get super possessive of a woman. And I think with this Gary storyline, they have crossed into, we are feeding into the stereotype, because Gary has literally been told by Andy that she don't want him no more. She don't love him anymore. And he has, to me, crossed outside of the lines of, I just really want to see if this is over. You know what I mean? I understand pursuit in that kind of aspect. We kind of keep getting back together, but let me see if it's really over. That I get. But this is like completely crossing the line into true possessiveness. He feels like he owns her, which, again, they kind of said those things, though they've used those words and terminologies throughout the various seasons and different episodes, where she says, you want to own me and things like that. So if Gary Carrie is still kind of coming up and trying to do something like that with Andy, then we are seriously there. And then now I feel like we need to start figuring out ways to keep him away from me. He's dangerous, and he's crossed the line. So Andy, as an attorney, I'm the one who passed the bar, that kind of thing. And you want to try to advocate for everybody else, but you and your safety is on the line. So anyway, that's it with that one. As far as the Zach, Fatima, and Chaz situation, listen, Chaz is just being straight out messy, because I think he's showing up, of course, because of the altercation that him and Zach had at the juice bar. So now he's just like showing up, like the way that he rubbing his hands and licking his lips, like he just want to eat Fatima up, you know what I'm saying? And definitely knowing that she showed no interest into him, you know what I mean? But just being messy. And apparently he's supposedly young and everything like that. So I don't really think that's going to go into anything. I do believe that Fatima is going to check him on that. And that's why she's going to send Zach in and check, Chaz, and let him know, like, we not doing nothing. We not doing this. I'm sorry that he went off like that, but there ain't going to never be no me and you. I believe that's pretty much the conversation Fatima's going to have with Chaz. And don't come back over here. When she goes in the house to talk to Zach, I believe, again, that they are going to get into it. I did say this in a previous episode of my prediction review a few weeks back, that I do believe they're going to get into it. And at some point, it's going to come out, of course, that Zach overheard Fatima saying that she was relieved that finding out that the baby who did not make it was Zach's. And that's going to lead them to get into this bigger argument where somebody, I believe it's going to be Andy, who calls in and asks Zach, does he know where Karen is, or saying something that Karen is missing and that kind of thing. And the reason I say I think it's going to be Andy is because I do think that Danny has talked to Fatima enough, and she's talked to Zach, and she's like, you guys, you need to go on with your life with Fatima. So I don't think it'll be Danny. I think it will probably be Andy. I don't think she's going to call Fatima, because her and Fatima are kind of beefing right now. And so I think she's going to call Zach. And, Zach is probably going to feel like he's going to go and he don't want to talk about this no more. And he's going to go try to run after Karen. And that's when I believe that if the rumors that Fatima is going to leave Zach for go back to her place for a moment during this season are true, that's going to be the window I think that she's going to do it, because you stopped an argument that is between me and you. We are arguing about our future, about what's going on with us, and you stop it to go chase after an ex. I definitely, if I was Fatima, I would check out. And in all honesty, I would get on Andy later. Like, don't call my man about Karen no more. There is nothing between them anymore. The baby is gone. And outside of you cutting a check for this case that you trying to go and force your way through, outside of you cutting a check to him for that, you don't need to talk to him about her at all. Like, that's just how I feel about it. And so I do think it might be Andy, and it could possibly be Aaron, but I don't even know if it would be Aaron. I really think it's just going to be Andy, and just kind of being a little bit messy, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's when her and Fatima need to have it out too. And I hope they don't and curve that argument either, because Fatima does need to let Andy have it as well, because now, according to the promo, Andy is literally going to come in there and tell her that Mr. Benson doesn't want to pursue the case against Dr. Cruz, but she going to do it anyway. We just got to be discreet. Now, you just literally been on my tail all day about some little oversights, and then tripping because I, Fatima, don't have a license and I'm practicing law, which technically I'm not, because I'm reading a contract. And when I keep saying that, I say that on purpose, because I work in corporate and I read documents all day. That's not practicing law. It's just I can't say it over and over again. Reading contracts is a part of her job duty. That does not mean that she's practicing law. So she is reading over the document and she's making suggestions and corrections and things that need to be shifted and changed. And then it's going over to approval now through Hayden. So the first time that she did it with Miss Marie's godson, that was still her. And she told him, she's like, I'm technically not an attorney. I'm just, this is just my advice. And why don't you talk to your manager about it? Like, she, again, was not practicing a law. She was doing and giving advice based on her understanding and her expertise. She did not say that I'm your attorney doing this, tell this. So I think people need to kind of get a clear understanding of what practicing law is versus certain duties and advice. Like, people come on YouTube all the time and try and give financial advice and things like that. They're not practicing. Sometimes they even give a disclosure and tell you that I'm not practicing or giving you financial advice. This is just a suggestion, that kind of thing. And that's what Fatima was doing when she was working with Miss Marie's godson, and it just escalated and threw in some more business, which, if Andy was a true partner and really for Fatima, instead of getting on her case about some of the missteps that she did, she would absolutely try to help her as a boss figure out a better way. Let me help you with your strategy. Let me help you get organized in your day. This is what I think you should do. Maybe the first part of your day you do this. And I say that again because while I'm in corporate and I also run a team, and that's how I would do it. And so there's no reason to have attitudes with people who are learning and who you are supposed to be as a boss leading and guiding in the various aspects of their jobs and duties. Now, she may be having an organizational problem, but Fatima has always been on her P's and Q's with her job. So for Andy to be coming off across the way that she is with with Fatima being rude and disrespectful, I don't think that's okay. And I don't think that's the sign of a good leader or a good boss. Now, again, here you go crossing the line. And if you were a good boss, would you be having me do something that could get me fired? So you're an attorney. I'm not. So they definitely can fire me. It's going to take them a little bit more to get you out as a partner, but they can fire me and just come in and tell me you got to go. But you don't care about that because you want what you want again, and you are completely bypassing the fact that I'm actually bringing money into this and I'm doing something that's, again, not outside my job. This is within my job duty. Yes, you want me to work on something else. I get it. But now you are putting my job in jeopardy. And I don't think Fatima should do anything with it. And I do think she should call her out on it. I think she literally should tell her. So it's okay for me to not do what is called, or what the attorneys and the partners want me to do when it's something for you. But when it's something that's beneficial to my career and to my cause, I can't do it, and I better step it up, and I better do all of this. So everybody who been taking Andy's side, and Andy not wrong, I'm gonna have to agree to disagree with you on that. I mean, we're not gonna be on the same page on that. Andy is absolutely acting outside of her job as a good boss and a good leader. And so if you want to say that, she's on, getting on Fatima and she's right because Fatima is dropping the ball once again, I don't think so from a boss's perspective. I do think that when my team messes up or does something, I get them on the line and I ask them what's going on. And I ask, do they need some help structuring their day? So Andy, not really a good boss, not really being a good friend right now. She going after a case that her best friend, the woman who went through the process, told her, don't do this. And I'm not saying that Karen is in her right mind right now, but real talk, she got time to file this lawsuit when Karen is feeling in a better place. But what she's doing is what Andy wants to do. And she's doing this outside of Karen's wishes. And then she's doing this whole thing and wants to bring Fatima into it. Which, first of all, I don't even know why she would think that Fatima would want to be that deeply a part of this. It's triggering for Fatima if I was her. She just went to a doctor, helped a friend, help Karen and literally basically watch the whole process of how she was treated, how she lost the baby and everything. And she's at the beginning of her pregnancy, and you want to trigger her by making her read these notes and all this kind of stuff that happened to other Black women, not caring about what this is doing to her. First of all, this is my man's ex. This chick been coming at me for months, going off on me, and you want me to do some get deep into this with her, this kind of case with you in regards to the loss of this baby and how she was treated. But I'm telling you that I have other sites. I don't really want to be deep into this, and they haven't really had that conversation or anything. But what I'm saying is that Andy is not considering Fatima's feelings in this as well, considering she's supposed to be boss and friend. And I've been in that situation before where I'm boss and friend. So I talk to you as a boss, but I also as a friend make some suggestions and things too. So again, I can't take the side of Andy and saying that she's doing right and that she's right about going at Fatima the way that she is. I don't agree. I also don't think that the way that she's overlooking and not paying attention to what Karen is saying she wants is not okay in the moment, and then putting Fatima in a position where she can technically be fired now. It's one thing for us to get you can get us in trouble. Pop on your hand, don't do that no more, Fatima. But now you risking my job because you have me going against what the partner said. You are now putting me in a position similar to what that dude. Well, who was her boss at the beginning of the season and of the series that put her and forced her into doing something by taking on Gary's wife's case. You're doing the same thing. You are doing the same thing. And so anyway, that's pretty much my prediction in review of the episode. I do think that Fatima should check Zach and Andy. I do think that Andy's going to be the one that calls Zach. I think that this hopefully will be an interesting episode. We haven't had a very good, interesting full episode in a while. Like, to me, the Fatima moments, a couple of the Karen moments and things like that have been interesting during the season as we get after probably the fourth or fifth episode. But after that, it just tanked. So hopefully this episode will deliver. Last week's did, and it was probably, to me, one of the worst episodes of the season because they really kind of made it seem like we were going to have this really interesting conversation between Fatima and Andy, and it didn't happen. It just fell flat. I was just really? And so anyway, let's see what happens. Please feel free to share, and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying these reviews, predictions, and commentary, so to speak. Let me know what you think in regards to the questions that I ask. Are you in agreement? Do you disagree? Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Or, even from the standpoint of Andy correcting Fatima as a boss, for anybody who has been in corporate or has been a boss, what do you think? How would you handle that situation? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm not saying I know everything. I just have a team, and I just know that I would want people to treat me how I want to be treated. So when I speak to them and give correction, I do try to see how I can help. What do you need to get done? If I can help you organize your day so that you can get both of these things done. And I think that's the way that Andy should have went at it. But immediately she's just really in her feelings that Fatima's not fully engaged in this particular case. B, that she's working with Hayden, and C, I do think there's a little bit of jealousy that she's bringing in multiple multi-millionaire clientele, where she brought in Miss Marie, but Fatima is now working with almost, it sounds like dang near half the basketball team. So I think there is some jealousy there. So anyway, let me know what you think again, and I will do a review and come back on when we actually have the episode. So have a good one. Bye.